Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. So our lecture today is Introduction to Microbiology. Okay, for those who just entered the meeting room, my name is Dr. Muhammad Khairul Izami Zulkifli. I'm a lecturer of OSH in FIS, Faculty of Industrial Sciences and Technology, University Malaysia Pahang. Okay, so basically microbiology ni it's about micro lah, benda yang kecil, and then biology is living things. So it is a very a study of mini living things. Okay, right. So our learning objective is first to list several ways in which microbes affect our lives, differentiate the major characteristics of each group of prokaryotic and eukaryotic microorganisms, list the three domains of life, define microbiome, normal microbiota, and transient microbiota, identify modern developments in microbiology. Okay. Alright. Okay. Okay, what is microbiology? As I've mentioned before, the definition of microbiology actually it comes from two words lah, micro and biology. Micro is defined as extremely small. Usually we can only see it by using a microscope. Benda-benda yang bila kita guna microscope baru nampak gitu. Biology is a branch of science that deals with living organisms and their vital processes. So microorganisms are organisms that are too small to be seen in the unaided eye. So microbes include the bacteria, the fungi, protozoa, microscopic alga, and viruses. Okay, so in general, microbiology ni adalah study of extremely small living organisms. Okay, faham kan? Alright. Okay, these are the pictures. Okay, such as this, macam kita selalu nampak ni kan, virus COVID-19, and then the fungi, ada alga, ada bacteria. Okay, so all of these are microorganisms which only can be seen kalau kita tengok dia boleh dengan mikroskop lah, benda yang kita tak boleh nak nampak with unaided eye. Okay. So microbes in our lives, dalam kehidupan kita ni, in our daily lives, a few are pathogenic disease producing. Basically we can divide into two lah, generally, which are pathogenic and non-pathogenic. Okay, which are some are beneficial while some cause disease to ourselves. Okay, so pathogenic ni we call it as this for those which disease producing, menyebabkan disease, we call it as pathogenic. Okay, while others are not. Yang others ni yang boleh kita panggil give benefits to our lives, such as this one, discompose organic waste. Bila kita ada banyak sampah-sampah ataupun bahan organik yang terbuang, kita nak compose, kita guna use we can use microbes. And then generate oxygen by photosynthesis. Okay, produce chemical products such as ethanol, acetone, and vitamins. Also needs microbes to do that. Produce fermented foods such as vinegar, cheese, and bread. Produce product used in manufacturing, cellulase, and disease treatment such as insulin. So we can see that these are some of the examples that we use microbes in our daily lives. Dan secara kita sedar atau tak sedar, sebenarnya di sekeliling kita, in our surrounding, there are lots of microbes. Not only our surrounding, but inside our body as well. Okay, but for some pathogenic which can cause disease, like very simple example like COVID-19 kan, boleh menyebabkan penyakit, and others can we use it for benefits of our lives. Okay. Okay, these are some examples, a few are photogenic. Okay, decomposed organic waste, contohnya macam apple ni, dia menyebabkan rotten apple. And generate oxygen by photosynthesis, contohnya ni, macam ada alga ke apa, right, can generate oxygen dengan ambil cahaya dan generate oxygen lah. So that things also we call it as microbes, right. Not only what we call pokok-pokok sahaja kan, tapi microbes juga boleh generate oxygen by photosynthesis. Okay, so inilah macam contohnya ada cuka, cheese, ada tapai, ada dari segi ubat-ubatan, yogurt, roti kan, kita buat roti, yeast dan sebagainya. So all of these needs microbes to produce what we call all these things for our daily life usage lah. Okay. Ni pun kalau kita perasan certain cosmetic things pun we use microbes to generate that. Okay, when we deal with microbes atau miniature living things kan, selalunya everything needs names kan, mesti ada nama kan. Dan naming and classifying microorganism ni we call it as a nomenclature. So basically apa-apa microbes dia ada two names. Initially considered genus and followed by the specific epithet. Genus ni a group of related species and a family is a group of related genera. An ideal genus would be composed of species with similar phenotypic and phylogenetic characteristic. By epithet, a characterizing word or phrase accompanying or occurring in the place of the name of a person or thing, or the part of taxonomic name identify a subordinate unit within the genus. Apa yang nak difahamkan dalam kenyataan ni adalah every micro things ni dia ada genus, ada epithet. Kita bagi contoh lah. Okay, this one is any organism. Okay, usually scientists will name it based on this. Kita kata dia ada division dia lah, induk dia, life and then domain, what kind of kingdom, phylum, class, order, family sampai genus. So genus ni sampai jenis ni dari golongan family mana microbes ni. So dia ambil jenis tu lah nama tu. Okay. And then the genus ni selalu dia akan huruf besar. And the specific epithet dia akan huruf kecil. Okay. And dia akan selalunya ni lah Latin word and dia akan sengit macam ni. Alright. So sebagai contoh E. coli. E. coli ni usually present dekat kita punya intestine. So Escherichia ni honors the discoverer for the genus name. Okay. While coli ni describe the bacteria's habitat, the large intestine or colon. So selalunya genus ni dia akan ambil nama-nama saintifik yang jumpa ke atau sebagainya lah. It depends on type of microbes. Right. So what I want to stress here that when we encounter microorganisms names such as this, so actually it can give us a hint where it's located. Like it's a coli ni, colon lah, large intestine, and Escherichia ni daripada discoverer dia. So it gives us a hint what kind of microorganism is that, where it is located, apa fungsi dia. Sometimes daripada nama microorganism itu sendiri, kita boleh suggest, describe what microorganism is that. Okay. The second example is like a Staphylococcus aureus. Okay. Staphylo ni dapat describe the clustered. Spherical ni adalah coccus. Spherical ni bulat. Clustered ni Staphylo. So Staphylococcus ni macam ni. Aureus ni gold coloured Aureus colonies. Okay, so genus daripada perkataan Staphylococcus aureus ni we can describe it. Oh, staph ni maksud dia, dia punya bila kita tengok under the microscope, the shape is spherical, bulat, and then it is clustered. Maknanya dia bergumpal macam grapes. And then bila kita tengok ada gold coloured, warna dia warna gold. Unless dia dah stain dia jadi warna lain lah. Alright. So after the first use, scientific names may be abbreviated with the first letter of the genus and the specific epithet, macam saya cakap tadi lah. That I have said before, such as E. coli and Staphylococcus aureus. Okay, so this is a example picture of E. coli. Alright, and this is Staph aureus. Okay, that's the introduction lah. Today we are going to learn about introduction, how we name the microorganisms. So basically it will give you an idea the process of naming the microorganism, how they do it, and what information we can get from the name itself. Okay, basically type of microorganism, we can divide it into bacteria, archaea, fungi, protozoa, algae, and viruses. Okay. Alright, so bacteria. Okay, bacteria is one of the prokaryotes types. And prokaryotes ni, in living microorganism living things, selalunya usually we will divide it into prokaryotes, ada eukaryotes, yang viruses lah. Prokaryotes ni is a very simple structure of organism. Okay, it is a microscopic single cell organism which has neither a distinct nucleus with a membrane nor other specialized organelles. Okay, selalunya bila kita nampak prokaryote ni very simple, and dia punya nucleus pun dia tak panggil nucleus lah, selalu kita panggil nucleus. Tak nampak spesifik macam ada DNA yang spesifik dalam tu, ada nucleus membrane. No, membrane pun tak ada sangat kat luar yang very complex. And it divide via binary fission, maknanya dia boleh bahagi dua terus macam tu. Unlike macam kita punya sel, kita ada meiosis lah, mitosis, dia ada steps, very complex steps. Okay, and it's derived nutrition from organic or inorganic chemicals. So bacteria is prokaryotes. Okay, so these are examples of bacteria. Streptococcus pneumonia. Okay, macam tadi kan nomenclature tadi, Streptococcus pneumonia. Alright, anyone can guess kat mana, kenapa nama dia Streptococcus pneumonia? Okay, anyone? Saya panggil. Bentuk dia kan.
Bentuk dia bulat.
Coccus tu bulat, tapi dia tak Staphyli sebab dia bukannya clustered. Kan? Dia macam ni je. Macam ni. And pneumonia. Kenapa nama dia pneumonia? Anyone?
Yang dia dekat paru-paru.
Yes, pneumonia, Streptococcus pneumonia. Okay, good. So, nampak tak? Bila kita tahu nomenclature tu kenapa dia namakan sedemikian, it give us a hint. Dekat mana, kenapa dia menyebabkan penyakit apa. So, this one cause a disease dekat lung lah, lung disease, Streptococcus pneumonia. Macam ni, Staphylococcus aureus ni, tadi kita dah cerita, dekat skin. Kita ada Clostridium tetani. Tetani ni menyebabkan tetanus, Legionella pneumophila. Nampak pneumo ni? Maknanya dia pun boleh menyebabkan lung disease. Botulinum dia menyebabkan botulinum toxin. Apa lagi? Cholera, Salmonella typhi, Helicobacter pylori. So, kalau you rajin, setiap kali you jumpa microorganism, you search lah kat Google. Salmonella. Sebab apa nama dia Salmonella? Kenapa typhi? Sebab nama dia kan typhus kan? Ataupun typhoid fever contohnya. Kenapa nama dia pylori? Sebab dia ada kat pylorus ke? So, that's the importance of nomenclature yang we learn before. Okay? Alright, so these are examples of bacteria. Okay. And then we've got archaea. Archaea ni also prokaryotes. Maknanya single cell yang very simple. Dia tak ada lack peptidoglycan cell walls. Okay. Peptidoglycan cell walls ni maknanya dekat selalunya dekat eukaryot lah kita jumpa peptidoglycan cell wall, which is the cell wall is very complex. Dan ni dia tak ada, cell wall dia sangat simple. Okay. Alright. And then often live in extreme environments. Okay. So generally we can divide it into 3 methanogens. Maknanya yang kawasan menghasilkan methane, and then extreme halophiles, kawasan yang kepadat dia punya salt dia sangat tinggi, terutama extreme thermophils ataupun suhu yang sangat tinggi. So this type of microorganism, okay, dia ada ikutlah, usually kita boleh jumpa dia, we found it at these 3 types of archive. Maknanya environment dia macam mana and how it can survive with the extreme environment, okay, and we classify it based on the its survival factor lah. Kalau methanogens ni dekat kawasan methane, extreme halophytes ni salt yang tinggi, garam, kawasan yang bergaram tinggi, and extreme thermophils ni adalah kawasan yang suhu yang tinggi. Thermo ni adalah thermo ni, therma ni haba kan, thermometer. Phils ni suka. Halo ni yang salt ni, phils ni suka. Kalau kita nampak perkataan philia ni suka. Kalau phobia ni tak suka. Alright, methanogens ni methane tadilah. Saya cakap tadi. Okay. Right. Okay, and then fungi. Fungi ni, okay, tadi kita from those previous two microorganisms, bacteria and apa tadi? Archaea, kita tahu dia adalah prokaryotes, but this one is prokaryotes. When kita jumpa dia, when we encounter eukaryotes, means that it's more complex organism. Apa yang more complex? Selalunya dia ada nucleus, distinct nucleus, and cell wall dia pun selalunya lebih kompleks lah. Okay, so dia ada chitin cell walls, absorb organic chemicals for energy. Yeast are unicellular, okay, tapi dia unicellular. Okay, molds and mushrooms are multicellular. Multicellular ni maknanya terdiri daripada kalau kita tengok dekat cendawan tu banyak sel lah dalam tu. Kalau kita tengok microorganism, kalau kita tengok mikroskop, kalau unicellular ni, kalau kita yeast ni, tengok dia hidup satu sel saja dia boleh hidup. Okay, mold consists of masses of mycelia which are composed of filament called hyphae. Yang macam ni lah. Ni nampak ni, dia macam bulu-bulu kecil ni. Okay, kalau daripada sini lah, ini kita nampak lagi details. Okay, that's a fungi. And then protozoa. Okay, protozoa ni also eukaryotes. Nampak tak? Bila when we say eukaryotes, means that dia ada distinct nucleus. Kita nampak nucleus dia ni. Dan selalunya dia dia more complex than the prokaryotes lah. Absorb or ingest organic chemicals. Maybe motor via pseudopods, cilia or flagella. Okay. And then free living or parasitic. Free living parasite ni dia kena hidup, dia ada host dia. Dia tak boleh hidup sendiri. Ataupun free living dia boleh hidup dengan sendiri. So these are examples of protozoa. Okay. Kalau belajar, rasanya kat SPM dulu korang belajar juga kot benda-benda ni. Ada ni, apa nama dia? Amoeba, ada tetrahymena, entamoeba histolytica. Okay. So yang mana ada ni kita panggil flagella, kan? Pseudopods macam ni, dia pseudo, nampak macam ada pods tapi tak pseudo, benda yang bukan pods pun. Ada cilia ni kecil-kecil tepi tu, alright? Dia punya bulu kecil-kecil. Okay, so there are many different types of protozoa, and these are some of the few well-known protozoa. And then we've got alga also eukaryotes. Dia ada cellulose cell wall, maknanya okay, kalau kita kata eukaryot ada cell wall selalunya. And the cell wall sebenarnya ni dibuat daripada cellulose. Found in fresh water, salt water and soil. Selalu kita nampak lah ni, use photosynthesis for energy. Maknanya dia boleh hasilkan photosynthesis. Dia macam lebih kurang tumbuhan juga lah. Produce oxygen and carbohydrates. This one is very, I can say special microorganism. Okay. Kenapa virus ni special? Anyone knows? Boleh bagi pandangan? Saya call lah. Siapa nama? Farah Amira.
Ya, Doktor.
Okay. Why do you think virus is not same as other microorganism yang lain? Daripada pembacaan ke atau your pengetahuan lah?
Sebab dia acellular.
Selular, okay. Lagi?
Dia maybe tak ada macam yang lain tu, dia ada eukaryote kan, dia ada cell wall, maybe virus
Alright,
tak
okay.
ada.
Okay, good. Okay, thank you. So, macam yang Farah cakap tadi kan, so virus ni, it's quite, dia macam lain sikit. It's unique when we compare to other microorganism. Okay, kalau kita tengok viruses are cellular, dia consist of DNA or RNA core. Dia tak ada nukleus, dia terus DNA je. Kalau kita dalam nukleus tu, kita ada DNA ni tak. Core dia terus DNA atau RNA. Okay, core is surrounded by a protein coat. Protein coat ni untuk melindungi dia itulah. Coat may be enclosed in a lipid envelope. Dia ada banyak dia punya protection dia untuk dia for the survival factor, sebab dia cannot live by itself. Virus kena live in living host. Dia kena ada host dia. Or dia tak boleh, because inert outside living host. Kalau dia tak ada living host, dia tak kira kita inert lah, macam dia tak aktif. Dia tak boleh nak survive lah. Are replicated only when they are in a living host cell. Okay. So, virus yang paling popular sekarang ni adalah virus COVID-19. Selalu kita nampak gambar macam ni. Ada banyak-banyak jenis lah. This one is yang kita selalu nampak currently. Ada ni glycoprotein, RNA and protein. Ada envelope dia. And uniknya virus ni, dia boleh berubah-ubah DNA dia atau RNA dia. Sebab tu, usually when we've got like kita panggil sesama ke kita tak guna antivirus. Tapi dia akan baik sendiri, and then kita akan kena lagi benda yang sama. Unlike bacteria, usually we develop antibody. And when we develop antibody, bacteria tu, then kita ada antibiotik, sebab dia punya DNA tu selalunya memang sama, dia tak akan berubah-ubah. So antibiotik tu boleh diguna pakai selama-lamanya lah untuk membunuh bakteria tersebut. But viruses ni, once we develop contoh antiviral ke untuk melawan virus tersebut, virus tu dia boleh resistant by kita panggil changing its DNA structure or RNA structure. So next time when we bagi dia antiviral tersebut, dia dah lain. Dia sangat unik. Okay. But then viruses ni usually dia punya symptom and signs dia, keterokan dia tak seperti bakteria lah. Bakteria selalunya lebih symptoms dia tu lebih teruk. So everything that Allah created, walaupun dia ada kelebihan di sini, tapi dia ada dia punya kekurangan sekian-sekian. Walaupun bakteria dia ada kelebihan sekian-sekian, dia ada kekurangan sekian-sekian. So it's like a balance lah. Alright. Okay, testing your knowledge. Okay, this one saya akan randomly select siapa-siapa, okay, untuk menguji kefahaman you all lah. Alright. Classify which microorganisms are prokaryotes and which are eukaryotes. Okay, saya call Muhammad Amirul. Ada Muhammad Amirul?
Ada.
Alright. Can you answer the question? Classify which microorganisms are prokaryotes and which are eukaryotes.
Which microorganism? Yang prokaryotes.
Okay. Give example. Yang mana?
Protozoa.
Okay. Lagi?
Protozoa. Apa lagi?
Anyone? Lain? Prokaryotes. Prokaryotes ni dia very simple structure, single cell selalunya.
Bakteria.
Bakteria. Okay, good. Okay, ada lagi tak?
RRK apa dah?
Okay. Okay, alright. So, okay, so kalau kita tahu, so prokaryotes ni dia very simple organism lah, dia bagi single cell. Okay, which are eukaryotes? Saya, dia nak jawab, Madiha.
Fungi, protozoa dengan algae.
Okay, apa beza eukaryot dengan prokaryotes? Why do you classify as such? Sebagai
Eukaryotes ada distinct nucleus.
Okay, while prokaryotes?
Prokaryotes non-distinct nucleus. Macam tak ada apa tu? Membrane macam tu.
Alright, good. Okay. Nur Shahida, okay, next question. From all the microorganisms, which do you think is very unique and hazardous? And why?
I think it is virus
Okay, kenapa? Kenapa awak kata virus?
because it is acellular, where it has no nucleus and the DNA can change.
Okay, good. Alright. Okay, thanks. So, from the previous slides tadi, okay, we can conclude that microorganisms ni, there are several types. Okay, so these types, there are their own characteristics, either eukaryote or prokaryote or acellular, such as virus. And every microorganism tu, you kena tahulah dia punya ciri-ciri dia. Especially either eukaryote ke, prokaryotes ke, DNA dia punya nucleus distinct or not, cell wall dia ada ke tidak. So that are the basic characteristic that you should know for microorganism lah. Okay, in this slide, I like you to not only depend on this slide. It's like macam just kita panggil introduction ataupun untuk beri basic knowledge pada you all. But saya nak you develop macam ni, searching for the knowledge skill tu lebih. Contohnya cari dekat internet macam mana, apa kenapa dia sekian-sekian, apa sekian-sekian. And my exam question usually not direct question. Saya suka bagi soalan macam why, kenapa, how you can apply it in your real life and bagi contoh sekian-sekian. So bila you've got that basic knowledge, you can elaborate it lah. So penting sekali basic knowledge tu you tahu. Okay, next. Classification of microorganism. Okay, developed by Carl Woese, American microbiologist and biophysicist. Tadi kan kita dah classify based on yang tadi kan, itu general classification lah. Yang this one is this scientist, microbiologist, dia bahagikan into 3 domains. Lebih kurang dia sebenarnya dengan bahagian tadi, tapi dia based on cellular organization. So ada bakteria, ada archaea, eukarya. So bawah eukarya ni ada protists, fungi, plants, animal. Okay, tadi kan kita more on to nama-nama dia kan. But this one dia bahagikan based on organization. Macam saya cakap lah, either they've got ada cell wall ke tidak, dia tu eukaryot ke prokaryot. Okay, so ini yang the microbiologist dia divide it into 3 categories ni lah. Eukarya, archaea and bacteria. Okay, so dah bawah eukarya tu kita ada fungi, animal, amoeba, slime molds, plants, green alga, and then archaea ni kita yang bahagi tadi lah, methanogens, hyperthermophils, extreme halophils, bacteria. Okay, so kita usually, we as human, mana-mana kalau kita belajar pun, selalu kita duduk bawah sama macam animal. Sebab basically kita punya composition of cell more or less similar to animals. Okay, so kalau kita perasan, kita punya cell pun ada ciri-ciri eukaryotes. Ada distinct nucleus, dan nucleus ada DNA. DNA very kita panggil systematics and complex structure kan. And then kita ada cell wall, ada organelles dalam. So itu semua adalah ciri-ciri type of eukarya. Actually bakteria dia lagi simple lah dengan arkan. Okay, ni this one is yang mana 3 domains lah. Pembahagian yang based on domains, which is based on cellular organization. So what is microbiome? Normal microbiota and transient microbiota. Okay, microbiome is the genetic materials of all the microbes, okay, either bacteria, fungi, protozoa and viruses that live on and inside the human body. Maknanya, what we want to stress in this topic, our surrounding, kita dikelilingi oleh microorganisms. Okay, the microorganisms yang ada di sekeliling badan kita, dalam ataupun luar, kita panggil dia sebagai microbiome. So basically microbiome ni we can divide it into two, normal microbiota, which are the microbes typically found in healthy people. Selalu kita dengar Yakult kan, the probiotic. Ini salah satu contoh dia lah. Nama microbiome maknanya it is non-pathogenic, dia tak menyebabkan disease, and sometimes is very useful for our body system function. And the term transient microbiota refers to microorganisms that are only temporarily found in the human body, and these may include pathogenic microorganisms. So apa yang kita ada sekarang ni sebenarnya banyak microorganism yang ada di sekeliling kita. Without we realize it, because it cannot be seen by our unaided or naked eye. It only can be seen by the microscope. Some microscope only ada saiz yang paling kecil, kita guna elektron lah. Ada yang biasa kita guna light microscope. Daripada sebesar-besar microorganism tu sendiri pun ada different sizes. So normal microbiota, when we develop disease, selalunya ada disebabkan datangnya microbiota daripada tempat lain. Kita infected by environment ke, ataupun other people, animals. So microbiota ni yang temporarily found, cause pathogenic, we classify it as transient microbiota. Okay, so microbiome yang nampak ni dalam badan kita ni, kalau kita tengok kalau mata kita ni such as microscope, kita boleh nampak macam-macam microbiome yang ada dalam badan kita. Dan benda-benda tu boleh digunakan dalam pelbagai sangat guna untuk pelbagai bidang lah. And ada yang what is the function, dapat nose untuk mucus production, microbial chemicals, mouth assist digestion of pathogens, lungs lubricate pulmonary tissue, stomach prevent gastric complications, colon digestion of complex carbohydrates, sexual organ maintain pH, water production to kill microbes, semua. So that is what we call microorganism yang ada di sekeliling badan kita. That's what we call as microbiome. And then we've got normal microbiota and transient microbiota. Okay. So modern developments in microbiology. Okay. So disebabkan what we call microorganisms ni can be very useful in our daily life, in human lives. So with an advancement of technology as well, so in modern era ni, microbiology ni kita boleh bahagikan kepada 6 lah, which are the branches of microbiology. Bacteriology, which is the branch and specialty of biology that studies the morphology, ecology, genetics and biochemistry of bacteria. Okay, kita mengenai dengan bacteria, kita panggil bacteriology. Saintis yang bacteria kita panggil bacteriologist. Macam itulah. Mycology, branch of biology consider the study of fungi. Fungi ini scientific kita panggil myco lah sebenarnya. Parasitology, study of parasites, their hosts and the relationship between them. If the microorganism is parasite which live in the host cell to survive, call it as a parasite, and study of parasite, call it as a parasitology. Immunology, branch of biology that covers the study of immune systems in all organisms. Daripada microorganisms yang kita ada tu, kita can develop vaccine sebagai contohnya. And current situation we've got COVID-19 vaccines Daripada mana kita dapat vaccines tu? Daripada COVID-19 punya virus. Daripada COVID-19 virus punya mRNA, messenger RNA, we use it to develop the what we call the protein yang ada dekat virus tu. Tapi protein tu tak berbahaya untuk badan kita. So once our body detected that protein, it will develop antibody, and that's how the antibody can be used as for immune protection lah untuk badan kita. So this kind of study, branch of biology, we call it as immunology. Virology, the study of viruses. Okay, viruses submicroscopic virus-like particles of genetic material contained in a protein code and virus-like agent. So immunology ni selalu berkait rapat dengan virology lah. And then we've got recombinant DNA technology. Maknanya kita boleh guna DNA punya knowledge. Kita boleh what we call genetic tu, kita boleh modify and take some part of the DNA and use it for the benefits of our daily lives. Okay. So just know the terms and what kind of study they. And kalau boleh, kita juga apa application yang kita tahu yang develop yang digunakan dalam kehidupan seharian. So microbes, okay, can be manipulated of cell genomes, okay, microbiology, utilizing and harnessing microorganisms and their products, kita nak buat products and model of life process. Okay, ni macam tadi lah for decomposition. Ni dalam kehidupan seharian kita yang kita kadang-kadang tak perasan, without we realize it. All of this caused by microorganisms, by bioremediation, ekosistem kita punya environment ni adalah selain pada animals, microorganism ni part of it. Okay, kita nak develop insecticide, guna microorganism punya knowledge juga, kena knowledge product from organism, buat Ajinomoto, sewage treatment, kita nak treat sumber kumbahan kita tu using the microbes as well. Okay, so these are examples. Recycling vital elements macam nitrogen cycle. Macam mana nitrogen cycle dalam kita punya kehidupan ni. Alright, all yang memainkan peranan which play important role is microorganism. Okay, and then same lah macam methane cycle pun, macam mana methane ada dalam kehidupan kita ni, some part of it play vital roles by microorganism. Okay, contohnya anaerobic oxidation by mechanism use methane tersebut, dan bagaimana dia menghasilkan daripada methane tu, dia boleh hasilkan H2O and CO2, methane eject in soil. Okay, so these are some of examples lah, nak tunjukkan how they play an important role in our environment. Okay, this one like series ni saya dah beritahu macam mana kita nak soil conditioner also use the what we call microorganism as well. Okay, sama ni macam insecticide yang I told you before. Okay, macam mana kita nak bunuh serangga ni by insect of this ni lah, Bacillus thuringiensis dalam ni. Daripada ni dia akan kacau injection spore, protein crystal, dissolution of protein crystal dekat ni, and then benda tu dia menyebabkan toksin dan how benda ni mati. So microorganism yang mainkan peranan tersebut. So modern biotechnology and recombinant DNA technology. Biotechnology is the use of microbes for practical applications such as producing foods and chemicals. So this kind of what we call field, we call it as a biotech. And recombinant DNA technology, recombinant which is combine some part into and put it into DNA and enables bacteria and fungi to produce a variety of proteins, vaccines and enzymes. Okay, we go there lah. So recombinant DNA technology, methods of genetic recombination. Okay, maknanya kalau kita nak buat cloning, contohnya kita ambil part of DNA and then kita cantumkan dengan DNA molekul yang lain untuk multiplykan benda tu, maka jadilah clone. Kadang-kadang kita ada dua benda, A and B. A ni ada genetic part yang bagus, and ada lain tak bagus. B ni pun sama, ada genetic part yang bagus, yang lain tak bagus. So kita nak ambil yang bagus kedua-dua ni, kita cantum, maka jadi C. So commonly used adalah dalam bidang agrotech, dalam bidang pertanian contohnya. Thailand is very advanced lah dalam bidang ni. Macam mana dia nak hasilkan contohnya buah buah duku yang kulit dia nipis tapi isi dia tebal. Selalu kalau duku isi dia punya tu tebal tapi dia punya isi nipis. So dia ambil yang type yang kulit nipis tu punya genetik dengan campur isi tebal dicantum, maka dapatlah yang bagus. So that is one kind of example lah recombinant DNA technology. So recombinant DNA is the general name for a piece of DNA that has been created by combining at least 2 fragments from 2 different sources. Recombinant DNA is possible because DNA molecules from all organisms share the same chemical structure and differ the nucleotide structure within the identical overall structure. Okay, ni macam saya cakap ni, kan? Dia ambil part of it and then dia cantumkan dekat tempat yang lain. Okay, so dia akan cleave-kan yang ni. Daripada cleave ni dia akan anneal, sebab dalam DNA kita ni kita ada pasang-pasangan macam B dengan C, M dengan K, R dengan U. So dia akan ambil separuh ni daripada satu lagi dan dia akan cantumkan, lepas tu dia akan masukkan dengan yang satu lagi. Maka dapatlah yang kita nak. So this is like a genetic punya ni lah field. Okay, recombinant DNA technology ni has been used dalam banyak bidang. Therapeutic products, genetically modified products, untuk diagnosis, energy application, and one of the vaccine yang kita ada sekarang ni lah. Okay, gene therapy, dalam medical ke, agrotech ke, macam-macam lah. Industry as well. Okay. Alright. Ini slide nak habis dah ni. Okay, so before ni kita nak test dulu previous slides. What's the difference between normal and transient microbiota? Give an example for both types. Saya panggil Nurul Izzati. Okay, what's the difference between normal and transient microbiota? Apa beza dia, definition dia, and then bagi example. Apa yang awak faham? What do you understand from that? Any idea? Okay, ada kawan yang boleh tolong? Anyone? Okay, Izzati mute kan? Okay,
Kalau normal microbiota tu microorganism yang selalu kita jumpa kat dalam badan kita. And then kalau contoh dia macam E. coli sebab dia duduk dekat intestine kan. Lepas tu kalau transient microbiota tu yang temporarily found in our body. Contohnya macam virus COVID-19.
Okay. Okay lah, apa-apa antivirus yang menyebabkan disease lah. Alright. Tapi sometimes kita punya microorganism ni, dia punya, kita panggil, dia dalam dormant. Dormant ni maknanya dia tak boleh menyebabkan patogenik. Tapi disebabkan ada environment yang menyebabkan dia boleh tukar jadi patogenik. Alright. So mula-mula ni jadi baik, and then tiba-tiba dia jadi tak baik. So walaupun dia bukan transient, kadang-kadang dia boleh menyebabkan patogenik juga. Okay. Alright. Second question, what do you understand about recombinant DNA technology? Okay, saya panggil Hairul Imran.
Apa yang saya
Okay, ni apa yang awak faham?
dia a series of procedure to join together recombine DNA segment.
Okay.
Macam yang doktor bagi contoh tadi, yang gabungan bagi DNA buah ciku.
Buah duku.
Buah duku, buah ciku. Dia macam tu doktor. Itu apa yang saya faham.
Okay.
Gabungan DNA.
Okay. But itu yang I just give you a basic understanding Tapi nanti bila dah habis lecture ni, you go through and look for other example as well, and also to solidify your knowledge comprehension lah, kefahaman awak tentang benda tu. Alright. So recombinant DNA technology ni, I just give you example from buah lah yang kita guna untuk develop contohnya antibody ke ataupun perkara-perkara lain nak apa selain daripada agriculture, contoh pertanian, industri dan sebagainya. Alright. Okay, this is a very kita panggil question yang nak tahu awak punya what you can apply it in your daily life, especially in OSH. Okay. Well, how can it be used for application in OSH? Apa yang awak rasa kan daripada apa yang awak belajar ni, okay, sebagai contohnya dalam occupational and safety health, dan apa microorganism ni, apa yang awak belajar ni penting ke you nak tahu belajar microbiology ni, especially when dalam OSH punya department kan. Okay, saya nak tanya question ni dekat Nur Alia Akila. Alia, are you there?
Yes.
Alright, okay. Just your opinion, apa yang awak faham kan. Hari ni kita belajar pasal microorganism. Ada tak you think that some kind of relation apa yang awak belajar hari ni dengan subjek course OSH yang you ambil? Anything? Agak-agak rasanya ada tak? OSH ni apa? Occupational Safety and Health. Okay, maknanya selalunya menyebabkan safety, health dan bidang occupation kan. Occupation ni luas, betul tak? Okay, alright. Okay, kita bagi contoh yang paling simple yang kita ada sekarang ni. Contohnya COVID-19, betul tak? COVID-19 ni kita tahu benda tu dia boleh spread among people kan. Dia boleh berjangkit daripada satu orang ke satu orang yang lain. And sebagai contohnya benda ni vaksin sangat diperlukan supaya kita boleh achieve, kita panggil herd immunity. So vaksin ni adalah salah satu bidang yang melibatkan immunology, salah satu cabang branch of microbiology. So vaksin ni sangat penting. So bila buka herd immunity, maka benda tu tak boleh spread antara, sebagai contoh frontliners sebagai contohnya. So frontliners ni adalah sebagai contoh health doctors ke nurses kan. Occupation dia terdedah kepada jangkitan tersebut, safety and health benda tersebut. So kesihatan dia mungkin so inilah pentingnya you all tahu tentang microbiology. So when we've got that kind of knowledge, we can develop something which can be very useful for the safety and health of the person lah yang terlibat dalam occupation tersebut. Okay, faham Alia?
Faham.
Alright, okay. So ada tak yang lain rasa nak bagi contoh yang lain? Anyone? Agak-agak ada tak? Selain daripada contoh yang saya bagi tu. Selalunya microorganism ni dia akan banyak terlibat dengan untuk safety and health ni lebih kepada disease lah kan. Sebab microorganism menyebabkan disease. So when it comes to disease, usually development of antibiotic and vaccine ataupun disinfectant, sterilization, semua tu ada kadang-kadang melibatkan ni juga kan. Bila kita tahu microorganism tu ada, orang tahu kita kena bunuh dia. Itu sama juga. Salah satu contoh dia. Alright. So I hope you all understand throughout this lecture today.